CNN is one of the biggest enemies of President Trump there is, but they may have finally crossed a red line with the president, and it's all because Trump just called a boycott of CNN that could ruin the network forever. CNN is fake news is a charge that President Trump has long leveled against the liberal-leaning news network, and the president has a point. CNN has long devoted itself to covering President Trump in almost entirely negative terms, with the network often twisting or manipulating his words, positions, and statements in ways that portray him in a bad light, and the network has been punished by the American people for doing it. Not only has CNN suffered in terms of viewership, but the network has also earned a reputation for being simply a political mouthpiece for liberal Democrats, resulting in half of the country more or less disregarding whatever CNN has to report. But now, President Trump has unleashed a new attack on CNN that could bring the network to its knees. Breitbart reports, President Donald Trump took aim at CNN on Monday and called on its parent company AT&T to do something. Trump, tweeting from London, said AT&T would make changes to CNN's program if people stopped using or subscribing to AT&T. Trump's tweets about CNN's coverage were damning. Just arrived in the United Kingdom. The only problem is that CNN is the primary source of news available from the US after watching it for a short while. I turned it off. All negative and so much fake news. Very bad for US big ratings drop. Why doesn't owner AT&T do something? The president tweeted. He went on, however, throwing up another tweet slamming CNN for their biased and unfair coverage. I believe that if people stopped using or subscribing to AT&T, they would be forced to make big changes at CNN, which is dying in the ratings anyway. It is so unfair with such bad, fake news. Why wouldn't they act? When the world watches at CNN, it gets a false picture of USA. Sad. The president added in a second tweet, Trump's war with CNN is legendary in the history of his term in office. The president has long been attacked by CNN, and he has long attacked CNN back as being fake news. But the calls for a boycott on CNN and AT&T now represent a new era in the battle that rages on between the Trump administration and CNN. And with Trump's large following of supporters compared to CNN's increasingly shrinking viewership, it seems likely that Trump will win out in the end. The tweets come just 2 months after President Trump met with the chief executive of AT&T, Randall Stephenson, in the Oval Office, a meeting which was not announced to the public and first reported by Breitbart News. The Trump administration has also adopted a 5G policy that is widely viewed as friendly to AT&T and Verizon, concludes Breitbart.